Okay, a system of 3 variables is a little bit tougher, but doable. We've got 3 equations. We're going to create an augmented matrix with 3 rows. 2, -1, 1, 10. That's our first equation. 4, 2, -3, 10. And 1, -3, 2, 8. Our first goal is to get this position to be a 1. So in order to make that happen, I can do something with equation 2. I can manipulate equation 2 or equation 3 to get it to be, to multiply it. I could multiply by 1/2. The problem with multiplying by 1/2 is that I would end up getting some fractions in there. So there's something else that we could do. We could add or subtract equations from one another. So row 1 is going to become row 1 minus row 3. So when I change that, let me show you. The second row is staying the same. The third row is staying the same. It's the first row that's going to result in a change. Row 1 minus row 3. Here's row 3 right here. And this is row 1. And what we're doing is row 1 minus row 3. So 2 minus 1 is 1. -1 minus -3. Row 1 minus row 3. That's a 2. Row 1 minus row 3. That's a -1. Row 1 minus row 3. That's a 2. Now we need zeros in these two positions. So I'm going to do that in one step. I'm going to take -4 times row 1 and add it to row 2. That's going to replace the existing row 2. I'm also going to take row 3 minus row 1. Row 3 minus row 1. So what's going to happen? Row 1 stays the same. And now let's worry about this right here. -4 times row 1. I'm going to highlight so I can show you, I can say yellow, I can say green, and I can say orange. There we go. So we're changing the green row. I'm going to change the green row, and I'm going to do that by making it the result of 4 times the yellow row. Let's do this. 4 times, let's not do that. 4 times the yellow row plus the green row. I really want to make sure that you understand this. 4 times the yellow row, -4 times the yellow row plus the green row. So -4 times the yellow row would be -4 plus 4 is 0. -4 times the yellow row for the next column, -4 times 2 is -8 plus 2 is -6. -4 times the yellow row, -4 times -1 is +4 plus -3 is 1. -4 times the yellow, 2, right here. -4 times 2 is -8 plus 10 is 2. Now row 3 minus row 1 is going to replace the existing row 3. So we'll start with column 1. 1 minus 1, orange 1 minus yellow 1 is 0. Now we're in the second column. Orange, -3 minus yellow 2. So -3 minus 2 is -5. Orange 2, we're in column 3. Orange 2 minus yellow -1. 2 minus -1 is +3. Orange 8 minus yellow 2 is 6. Next on our list is we need this value to be a 1. If I can do this by adding or subtracting, I'm going to try and do that, because if I divide, I'm going to have those fractions. And fractions weren't too bad when we were dealing with 2 variables, but dealing with 3 variables, it's going to become a little bit more confusing. And if we can avoid confusion with adding and subtracting rows, that's what we're going to do. So I can subtract row 3 minus row 2. Row 3 minus row 2. So row 3, we'll make that the orange row. And we're going to subtract row 2, and that's what the new row 2 is going to be. Now when we do this, we want to make sure that we're not going to mess up any of our 1s or 0s that we just created. So row 1 is going to stay the same, 1, 2, -1, 2. The third row is going to stay the same, but the second row is changing. So we're at the first column, we're right here, first column, orange 0 minus yellow 0 is 0. Now we're here. Orange -5 minus -6. -5 minus a -6 is -5 plus 6, which is 1. Orange 3 minus 1 is 2. Orange 6 minus 2 is 4. Now we need to get these two values to be zeros. So I'm going to do that by, I'm going to need a little bit more room here. So I'm going to just move that over. And that's supposed to be an arrow. There we go. So I'm going to do this by multiplying and adding. So if I can multiply row 2 by something, then when I multiply row 2, I'm still going to end up with 0 times anything is 0 plus this 1. I'm not going to mess it up. So that's going to be really, really crucial. So if I multiply row 2 by a -2, that's going to be 1 times -2 plus 2, that's going to give me a 0 there. That's going to work out nicely, and it's not going to mess up anything else I've got going on in that first column. And likewise, oh, I got to make sure I add it to row 1. Likewise, I can take row 2 and multiply it by 5 and add it to row 3. This is just like a puzzle. That's really what it is. 0, 1, 2, and then 4. So we're going to take -2. Let me use those colors again. Row 1 we'll make in yellow. And row 2 we're going to make in green. So I'm going to take -2 times 0. I'm going to go to row 2. -2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 2 is 0. So I'm multiplying row 2 by negative 2 and then adding it to row 1. Negative 2 times 2, we're right here. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Plus 2 is negative 6. Now we're going to go to row 3. Row 3 is going to be this orange one. And we're going to take the green one, multiply it by values, add it to row 3. So 5 times row 2's 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0. 5 times 1, we're looking at row 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus negative 5 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 6 is 26. And now I need this value to be a 1, and 13 and 26, that is so cool. I can just take row 3 and multiply it by 1 over 13. It's the same thing as dividing by 13. 1, 0, negative 5, negative 6 remains. 0, 1, 2, 4, and then 0, 0, 1, 2. And last but not least, we need to make these two values 0. So I'm going to, hopefully you guessed it, we're going to take row 1 and we're going to multiply it by negative 2, because negative 2 will give me an additive inverse of positive 2, and we'll add it to row 2. Let's do that one first. So row 3 is going to stay, and row 2 becomes negative 2 times, I should have said row 3. Negative 2 times row 3. Negative 2 times row 3. Negative 2 times this row right here. So negative 2 times that row. In case you've been kind of going, what? I can't really understand. Negative 2 times that row is 0, 0, negative 2, negative 4. We're going to take this and we're going to add it to the existing row. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And negative 4 plus 4 is 0. We're going to do the same thing with row 1. We're going to multiply row 3 by, let me erase this right here. We're going to multiply row 3 by 5. And when I do that, I'm going to get 0, 0, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to take that orange 0, 0, 5, 10 and add it to row 1. So that's going to be 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. 10 plus negative 6 is 4. And we've solved our system. X equals 4, Y equals 0, and Z equals 2. We write that as an ordered triple, X, Y, Z, always alphabetical, 4, 0, 2. So if our variables were A, B, C, our ordered triples would be A, B, C. A, B, C. Fantastic. Fantastic.